And now we know what we need to be doing, but we don't do it. And the question is why? And the answer is not what you think. But we've got to find the root of why we don't do the things that we need to do. And what that is a fear. We've got to learn how to overcome the paralysis. It can sometimes take years, decades, and in many situations, a person will never overcome the self-defeating inner voice that is constantly in this belief that they are not quite yet the person that they need to be in order to have the things in their life that they want and desire and could have if they chose to step out of this negative spiral of self-talk. Welcome back to this channel. I always say that the law of attraction works if you work. That's going to require action. It's going to require work. What does that kind of work look like? It has nothing to do with the other person. It has everything to do with yourself becoming the person that you desire. So I want to talk today about compartmentalization. Why is it so important to organize our lives, not only physically, but mentally? It's very important to organize our lives, and we can organize our lives to a point where success becomes inevitable, an inevitable reaction due to our action. Begin to attract better things into your life. And we got to take action specifically in order to create a reaction. So we've got to organize our physical life. That's super important. We've got to do like these sort of massive reorganizations and restructuring of the physical world around us. You know, make our life sort of streamlined so we don't have to think so much about the things that we need to do. We need to create systems. We've got to take care of our physical world. It starts at home. We want to get a good morning routine that's going to allow us to capitalize on our day. We've got to have a good daily routine as well, and we should have a good night routine as well. I know that sounds like a lot, and you know what? It kind of is. It's easier to just not plan anything and just go with the flow and live spontaneously. And that's great too. But if you can live spontaneously within this framework of having healthy morning, daily, and evening routines, your life is going to drastically change and evolve in incredible ways. You know, morning routines could include prayer, meditation, reflection, journaling, going and getting exercise, being outside, walking, breathing, whatever it is. Maybe it's making a smoothie, taking vitamins. Whatever it is that we need to do for our lives. You know what I've done is I created top 20 lists for the morning, for the day, and for the evening. And then each day, what you can do is you can take and pick 5. That way you're switching up your routine. It's not getting so boring. And on that list can be some simple things like 10 push-ups is one. Things like meditation, reading the Bible, reading a book, journaling, maybe flossing could be on that list. 10 sit-ups, maybe 10 minutes of yoga. Maybe it's an hour of yoga. Maybe it's an hour at the gym. The top 20 is up to you. Go for a run. But then you pick each day and you do those. And what that is that's a win, okay? You start your day strong. Now, there are other things as well that can be added to this list. And it could be either in your daily or your evening or your morning. It doesn't matter. You could make the same list for all 3 sections if you'd like. You know, that's the beauty of our life, is that we get to do whatever we want. You know, here's some suggestions for other things that could be on that list. Clean your kitchen, clean your bathroom, reorganize your closet, reorganize this, dust. You know, things that are going to keep your place clean in ways that make it as easy as possible to just do it. I very much would rather not have to clean ever again. You know, but it's inevitable. You know, we gotta do certain things. We can't just not do tasks. You know, grocery shopping can be on that list. My list is not the same thing every single day because there's so many different things that could be on that list. You can make like as big of a list as you could possibly make. Try to find 60 things and then you divide them in the morning, in the evening, in the day. Put it in your calendar. I got it. It's called Top 5 Routines. It says Top 5 Morning, Top 5 Daily, Top 5 Evening in my calendar. And then all of the options are right in my calendar. You know, you just set it to every single day. And then you click on it and it gives you all of them. All of the that are in the list. And that's a very easy way to maintain your life. And the thing is when you do that and you've got that every single day and you don't do the same things every day, it's super easy to maintain all areas of life because you've thought it out, streamlined a system, and it's a beautiful thing. That's like organize your life to success, right? But here's the thing is that is the bridge, because that's not the most important thing. That is learning how to sustain our physical life. So that way we can work on the things that are actually important. The physical is only one aspect. It's an important one. You know, cleanliness of our car, cleanliness of our home, cleanliness of our body, the shape of our body, the food that we eat. You know, this can all be taken into consideration. And you streamline everything. Make life as easy as possible. That's what I'm all about. Make life as easy as possible. We need to make our physical life very simple. Okay, there's also our mental and emotional states. Physical, mental, emotional. Those are 3 of the 6 important aspects of our life. Our thoughts, what we think, our self-trust, which ties right in with the emotions, our emotional intelligence. That also has to do with the way that we handle our relationships, which is another area of the 6. You know, and our finances, our ability to be disciplined in our finances. So we got finances, relationships, mental, emotional, and physical health. These 5 areas. The 6 is beliefs. You know, why do we believe what we believe? We are alive. We have one life, at least in this body. And our life is either going to be good or it's going to be hard. It's going to be amazing or it's going to suck. We're going to be depressed for most of our life or we're going to find joy and happiness. Okay? And so whatever you believe, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, how do you feel? Are you happy? Are you enjoying your life? You know, your spirituality is irrelevant, but what's important is, did you have a good life? Did you, at the end of your life, were you happy? You know? Like, I try not to, like, put anything into a box. I'm very open spiritually. I have this idea that nothing matters. You know, and at the same time, everything matters. It's hailing right now. Very light hail. And it's also sunny. Very interesting. Very beautiful. Anyways, so our thoughts about the nature of reality. Some people take it so seriously, like you're going to go to hell if you don't believe in this or whatever. I personally am just like, you know what? Do good, be good. That's like the Buddhist philosophy. You know, believe what you want to believe. Nothing really matters. Shit happens. People die. People kill people. You know, people kill animals. People kill insects. People eat animals. Some people are vegans. It doesn't really matter. But what matters is, did we enjoy our life? Anyways, I've named the 6 areas of life. Some of the ways in which we can organize the physical. You know, if we have a healthy body, it's going to be a lot easier to have healthy emotions. And it's going to be a lot easier if we have healthy emotions to have better mental thoughts about ourselves, about life in general. And it's going to impact our relationships, the way we treat people in the world, period. Do we become offended by the things that people say, or do we see it as something that they're going through? And we have compassion and empathy for other people. You know, do we spend our money because, well, look, spending money is a lot of fun. It really is. It's like amazing to spend money, but a lot of times we don't have the greatest relationship with money, and it's hard to spend money because we don't have a lot of money. And then when we do spend money, we feel a little bit guilty about it. Or if we go shopping, we do it because it's like therapy, because it's like we're kind of depressed, and so like we finally go spend some money on clothes, and it makes us feel good because we have some new clothes, but then we're like kind of broke. I don't know. There's just so many different experiences in this life, and we've got to organize why we do the things that we do. Okay? So when we start to compartmentalize these 6 areas, it can give us clarity. Because it's like when your refrigerator is completely disorganized and you've got leftovers from last week, you just cooked a pot roast, you got rice in there, you've got, you know, pasta, you've got leftovers from a restaurant, you got sushi that you just picked up, and then you go grocery shopping and you've got fresh vegetables and you've got all these condiments and bread and things that expire and fruit. Your fridge is full and it's a clutter and there's messiness. Things start to spoil. That's why there are better ways to organize your refrigerator to make it easier to see the things, you know, first in, first out type concept. You know, we've got to organize our life, and it's just as important as organizing our refrigerator. The refrigerator has to be cleaned every now and then. Take everything out, clean it. Our mind. We've got to learn how to empty our mind and fill it back up with just what's important. And through time, it's going to get over flooded with things that are maybe a little unnecessary, and we've got to learn to empty our mind on a regular basis. Having a great to-do list really can make your life so much easier if we were to, you know, write out a life plan.
I think I like this little life.
You know, for our ideal life, our ideal circumstances. How much money do we have? How much does it cost to live? You know, what kind of car do we have? How many? What kind of lifestyle? You know, are we out in the farm, in the city? You know, we've got to figure out these details of what we want as an individual, and then you reverse engineer it. You work backwards. Think about how you want to live when you're 80 years old. Assume that you have exercised, stayed healthy, ate right, maintained your figure, and when you're 80 years old, you're healthy, mobile, have energy, and doing yoga every single day for an hour. What do you want to be doing for the rest of the day when you're 80 and retired or whatever? You got to figure out, when you're 80, how do you want to be living? And then once you figure that out, you go to your 60, okay? Where do I need to be when I'm 60 in order to be there when I'm 80? Where do I need to be when I'm 40 to be there when I'm 60 to be tracking for 80? And you reverse engineer your life all the way down to the current moment. I know that sounds like a lot of work, and you know what? It kind of is. It requires some deep thinking. But you know what? The beautiful thing is when you do it for the first time, what ends up happening, what I've found, is it becomes very enjoyable once you really get into it. Sometimes the hardest part is actually just getting to it. But once you start getting into it and you're like, you really start visualizing yourself at this older age, and you start seeing like, hey, you know, there's a lot of things that are actually possible if I put some intention behind it. And the fact of the matter is that we are human beings and we have the ability to move, to control our life, and we float through this world, and we make decisions, and we think, and we can talk, and we can interact with people, and opportunities come and we can seize them. And when we seize the right opportunities and we take the right action, our life changes and it grows and evolves. And so with that being said, if money is something that's an issue for you today, it doesn't have to be an issue for you tomorrow, okay? Or in 5 years. If you figure out where you want to be when you're 80 and come up with a plan, figure out what your passions are today, so that way you can be doing what your it's complicated because we change. We got to keep things simple. We got to be always subject to change as well. We don't come up with a plan and it's like concrete. That's why for me, it's like, I want to be, when I'm 80, I want to be doing yoga every day for an hour. I want to be able to do what I want to do, but I want to be in control of my life. I want to have my own home without any financial stress, for one. You know, that in of itself is huge. I plan on having kids and a wife, and so there could be grandkids, great grandchildren at the time. Who knows? You know, whatever happens is going to happen. But in my vision, they're great grandkids, and they're going to think I'm amazing because I'm going to be running around playing with them and being like the most awesome great grandparent you could ever imagine, you know? And so how do I become that person when I'm 80 without being crippled? You know, hopefully nothing tragic happens and I'm paralyzed for any reason or dead. But assuming that I'm not going to be paralyzed or dead, I'm going to predict through discernment and through the character of responsibility and discipline. I'm going to be, because I do yoga every single day, I'm going to be flexible. My joints are going to be good. My muscles are going to be strong. My lungs are going to be healthy. Just enjoying life, high on life. There is no need for anything else when, like, you've got all these incredible things in your life, you know, and your mentality, your emotions, your physical health is all good. You know, your relationships are all good because you compartmentalized that area in your life a long time ago, and you have learned how to not act irrational and be reactionary to the things that happen. Rather, you've learned to observe what's happening and reflect on things and then respond to them in the future when, you know, you're not erratic, if that's the case, you know. But eventually it gets to the point where if you learn to observe immediately and not react to things, then what happens is that becomes your way of being. And when that's your way of being, that really drastically improves your relationships. Why? Because you have empathy and compassion, and people start to respect that. Like, they start to not only respect that, but they start to be like that as well. They're like, this person is happy. This person is successful. This person is fulfilled. This person has great relationships. This person has great finances. This person like lives with this belief system that is like completely open, and basically what that means is like we don't put ourselves into a box and act like what we believe is the actual reality. You know, the fact of the matter is that we cannot really know anything for sure other than the fact that we've got, 60 to 80 years to be on this earth. And there's nothing else to know. I mean, it's great to ponder things, and it's great to have beliefs. And I think it's incredible to have faith in something higher than us, because it gives us a reason to do good things and be good. But even if we don't have any particular beliefs, just the fact of helping people is a beautiful thing, and it makes us feel good. I just want to say that a well-organized life does not guarantee success, but it greatly increases the chances, and it's worth it. It greatly increases our odds of finding general happiness in life overall. So, highly recommend compartmentalizing your life, considering the 6 areas that are truly just fundamental areas of life that are not complicated. They're just the basic things in life that are important, and it's common sense. It's obvious that our finances are, an important part of our lives. You can't get around it. We've got to make money to have a home, to have clothing, to have shelter, to have food, to provide, to have safety and comfort, so we can be warm and not cold and not outside, and, have the ability to pay for our bills and our, and have a car and pay for gas. And then it costs money each year to just, pay for new tabs and new license, whatever, upgrade, update. And, it costs money to buy food and to buy clothes. So we got to figure out, where are we going wrong when it comes to our finances if we have financial struggles? We've got to figure out our debt. We got to figure out our income. We got to figure out our expenses. We got to figure out how to pay our debts. We got to figure out how to reduce our expenses, how to increase our income, and to live within our means. So that way, no matter what happens, unless, a tragic accident and huge hospital bills or something, whatever, auto accident, we can organize our life, our finances, our relationships. It's super important to know, why are some of our relationships suffering, or with a significant other, with a brother, with a parent, with a child, whatever, whoever, with a coworker, with a boss. And we've got to learn how to manage these things so that we can control the outcome a little bit better than if we just wing everything and go with the flow. We have to strategize our lives to make it as easy as possible to survive and to thrive. Okay, and with that being said, thank you so much. I hope that this video was able to show some perspective on ways to make life easier. Stay tuned, because the next video is going to be incredible about entrepreneurship. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your day and take care.